Hi, this is Truman from iChongqing. This year, China's two sessions were the fourth session of the 13th National People's Congress and the fourth session of the 13th National Committee of the Chinese People's Political Consultative Conference kicked off in Beijing on March 4th and 5th, respectively. Around 2,000 lawmakers and political advisors are to hear, deliberate, review, and discuss the country's top priority issues, such as the annual government work report and the upcoming 14th five-year plan. During these two sessions, iChongqing scheduled a series of interviews with foreign invested companies to discuss Chongqing's business environment and China's 14th five-year plan. Today, we're honored to be joined by Mr. Xu Fan, CEO of Saxo Fintech. Hello, Mr. Xu. Thanks for accepting this interview with iChongqing.
Hi, glad to be here. Thank you.
So first of all, I want to ask you a few questions about your company and China's 14th five-year plan. But first of all, could you please give us a brief introduction to your company?
Yes, Saxo Fintech is a joint venture between Saxo Bank and GD Corporation. Our main intention is to bring the world-class technology into China, especially in fintech. Saxo Bank is considered one of the leader in fintech area. Has been very, very tech-driven, with very focus on technology, focus on efficiency, and also with a very global coverage. It's one of the leader in this world, in this area. And GD's investment, with Saxo Bank, the whole purpose is try to help China's financial institutions during this opening up of the China's financial industry, that we can help the local institutions to learn more about the world-class technology, know what's going on outside, and as well as helping the regulator to understand how to manage the foreign expectations. Apparently, with some more people coming, more investment, and they need to understand the technology and the business model as well. So that's our purpose.
So Saxo
last year, so seems to be going pretty well.
Yes, Saxo Fintech, as I've known, is launched its business operation in Chongqing's Liangjiang area late last year. So I was wondering, against what kind of backdrop, and why did you choose to be located in Chongqing?
Well, I mean, there's several things to look at. Of course, most financial service industry in China has been around, let's say, Beijing, Shanghai, Shenzhen, basically along coastal areas, especially the big cities, along this coastline. Well, we look at Chongqing as a very interesting opportunity. First of all, of course, Chongqing is very big. Most people in China knows Chongqing is very big. Big means talent, right? For most big cities, when you look at these, the size, it's really not the area, it's the population. And Chongqing's population is very young, as well educated, and a very, very big area. In addition, of course, the policy here is very, I think, generous to for people to start a new business. And also, we know that Chongqing is looking to build a financial hub, hopefully, as at least in the western area, to be the financial hub in this region. And we believe is critical in this area. If Chongqing want to be the leader, they definitely need the technology to drive that. And also, as you mentioned, the policy in China in general is that across all financial industry, either banks, securities, all these regulators, all these political leaders have been talking about fintech for quite some time, and that's why we think we just arrived in the right time, and we are very happy that we made the right decision, because so far we felt that Chongqing is definitely the right place for us.
So most people are already familiar with the fact that Chongqing has become an international logistics hub, especially under the Belt and Road Initiative, the new International Land Sea Corridor Tree, and the Chongqing Connectivity Initiative. So how is Chongqing doing in terms of fintech? How do you position Chongqing's overall business environment as an inland highland for opening up, especially from your company's perspective?
I think Chongqing is uniquely positioned. First of all, it's a very critical, not as the part of the Belt Road Initiative. It's very important. For example, it's really going to Europe or going to the Southeast Asia. It's very uniquely positioned, and also in Chongqing, there's an initiative with Singapore as one of the pioneer pilot program between the Chinese government and the Singapore, and they chose Chongqing. That apparently shows the investment and its dedication from the government. And also with right now, Chongqing already have some very interesting fintech firms and also AI firms. That artificial intelligence, as you know, and the big data, as you know, is the future. And all these financial companies trying to use that technology to help them to grow better. And we are looking at this as a very, very interesting place and a very vibrant place where we can find a lot of young, talented people and with very interesting business opportunities, as you mentioned, because it's a hub for real business, and the financial services have to follow the real business, and that one actually is also mentioned in the political statement by the Chinese leaders many times, that these financial service should not survive on its own. Its purpose is to serve the real economy, and by locating at a hub for the real economy, apparently this provides a very, very important support of financial industry. That's why we choose fintech in Chongqing. That's why.
And also, most people see Chongqing as a tourism city because of all the tourism resources here, generating headlines on social media every day. But how is Chongqing doing in terms of fintech, in the fintech industry? How's Chongqing doing compared to other cities like the neighboring Chengdu?
In fintech, actually, is a very big word because it depends on how you define fintech, right? For example, I think Chongqing already leads in some areas, especially on the consumer business. On some of the, as you know, there's already some quite famous companies there. That one is really very good already. Chengdu historically was probably more on, I guess, on the institutional business or more traditional business. I think Chongqing actually is on the forefront of the innovation, and they're kind of different. And that's the reason we chose there is that we believe Chongqing already leads in some of the consumer side, but apparently on the trading, investment, and asset management, it's an area that we can help. Saxo is really focusing on the capital markets side, meaning we look at the investment. Everybody need to invest, and wealth management. As China open up, everybody getting richer. All these people, they need to invest properly so that they can have to reach their financial goals. And all those things is somewhere Saxo can help. It's probably different, but we can help Chongqing to compete with any other city in China, of course, and hopefully in the world as well. That we provide something is going to be the future, and also, of course, to complement what Chongqing already have.
Okay, since you already brought it up, this year also marks the 1-year anniversary of the beginning of construction for the Chengdu-Chongqing Economic Circle. So, what do you think of the master plan, the national strategy to build a supposedly fourth growth engine in West China? So, what do you think of the economic circle? Are there any other mega city clusters like the circle in other parts of the world?
Oh, actually, in the world, everywhere you can see that all the cities, they should not always compete against each other. Usually you have to have a friend, right? If you look at New York is not really New York City; it's a New York metro area that includes New York City and New Jersey and Connecticut. And if you look at Boston, but Boston again, it's not one city; it's the whole region, right? And if you look at California, apparently San Francisco is just not one city. This the whole area, the Silicon Valley, the whole region combined to work together. In China, we already have a Beijing, we have Shanghai. Basically, it's not Shanghai, but they call it this Yangtze River Delta, right? And also in Hong Kong, right now it's not Hong Kong, Shenzhen. Now it's the whole Great Bay Area. And I think it's a great initiative to combine, to join forces for Chengdu and Chongqing. They are historically they have been very, very close, and there's no reason for them not to combine forces. And with the combined, this region is going to be huge. And with their strategic location, right? I mean, they can be really the hub for not only the western part of China. They could be a very interestingly new center for innovation. That's why we really love the idea, because apparently we we don't want to just serve Chongqing only, right? We believe fintech with today's internet, with today's technology, we can serve anyone within the country. But with Chengdu and Chongqing joint forces, it will be definitely help a lot for all the business around. Especially for fintech, Saxo will benefit as well.
So another question is about the China's 14th five-year plan. So what should foreign invested enterprises like Saxo Fintech do to take advantage of the 14th five-year plan?
I think everyone who want to be successful in China, you have to study this policies. This plan is very important. But actually, anywhere to be successful, you have to follow the trend, right? You don't want to fight against the trend. When everybody's moving this direction, you want to look at where you can be positioned to take advantage of the future. So we are definitely studying this, and we believe Saxo Fintech is definitely it's going to be benefit a lot from the plan. For example, as I mentioned, China is going to continue its opening up, including financial industry, and more foreign companies will come in, and more Chinese companies will go out, and our local population will look at the world. In the world, population will look into China. They want to invest in China as well, and our fintech will enable this bridge. Basically, will become a bridge to help all the other institutions to help their client to achieve their financial goals. And I think the world, despite all these setbacks in the past few years, there's all kinds of things saying the world is no longer flat. There's a protectionism, but we do believe the world is going to be more connected, and China is going to be incorporated into the world more. And as China grows even bigger, the whole world will look into China as well. And we are definitely uniquely positioned in this area. We are very excited to be part of it.
So how is Saxo Fintech doing right now in Chongqing? Have you made any remarkable achievements as of yet?
Well, we just started, November 30th last year. So
yes,
at the opening ceremony, we signed some strategic agreement with some local institutions. They're very, very good names, and we are continue to develop on that. And in the meantime, we are starting, based on GD's basically the ecosystem they have. We also have some very, very good discussions and actually some agreements with the local institutions under those banks, trust funds, financial institutions, even the regulators, that we are going to work together to develop our fintech business. Right now, we're looking at a lot of areas which we are very excited about.
All right. Another question is about capital investments and talent. So what would you recommend the municipal government do in terms of attracting more foreign talents to live and work in the city?
I think these days, talent and the capital, they're all important. But if you look at it, the capital these days usually follow talent, because they understand to be successful, you have to have the real people to drive that, and the talents actually will attract or bring capital to where they go. And the place they choose apparently is where they can offer the best chance for them to be successful. I think Chongqing is really well known within China, but outside to a lot of foreigners, it's probably a little bit mysterious. They know it's beautiful, they know it's very big, but they probably not that many has got a chance to visit this place yet. But we should definitely encourage them to come here. As you know, that as you mentioned before, Chongqing is a beautiful tourism city, but it's much, much more than that, right? So it's very, very industrial. It's very, well educated. It's a very developed city, actually. There's a beautiful nightlines, and when people come, they will realize this is a developed city. It's not like a remote area just for tourism. That's something they definitely need to look at. And Chongqing's government apparently need to set up some policies to attract, I guess, some seed companies. Usually, the industry develops based on clusters, right? So if you have a few good companies that can start a business and make a reputation, people will realize this is where we should do business in. And then they will come. Once they come here, these people will realize this is a place they want to be, set up their headquarters. And then the business comes, the talents will come, and the capital will come as well. Of course, the other things I think most people don't have problems to adjust to Chongqing's environment, lifestyles. Of course, it's a little bit spicy for a lot of people, but that's also the attraction, right? So I guess it takes some time, but Chongqing's government need to position itself. You cannot be everything, but if you focus on a few things that you really want to be good at, attract a few really good companies. Hopefully, Saxo Fintech is one of them, that you can create this cluster effect. So more people will come, more companies will set up.
Okay, thank you, Mr. Xu. That's basically everything I wanted to ask. Do you have anything else you would like to add?
No, really. Thank you so much for giving me the opportunity.